The concern, I guess, is that actually Italy turns Eurosceptic, Isabelle, and that's what we're seeing kind of playing out in the markets. How can this be contained?
Well, how can this be contained? That's a tough question. I'm not sure Italy just turned Eurosceptic. It's been one of the least Euro-enthusiastic countries, populations already for some time. It's now elected a government that wants to, at the minimum, shake up Europe. I think what's going to be very important is how aggressive do they get in confronting Europe. You know, we've been hearing different things there. We've been hearing Di Maio saying, don't worry, our fiscal policy will be consistent with European rules. And on the other hand, the coalition program is full of promises which, if implemented, will clearly violate European fiscal rules. So we'll have to see. How can it be contained? I mean, one has to hope some accommodation could be found between, you know, the European fiscal rules are actually quite flexible. There is space. If the Italians want to do something sensible that will boost growth over the long term, some room for accommodation can probably be found. If they just want to spend and expect to boost growth in that way, that's not going to work, and we could have a phase of increasing tensions. I think in the near term, it's easier to imagine the spreads going further up than to see them going down.
But how bad can the tensions be? And first of all, you can't have a referendum, for example, on euro in Italy. It's unclear, you know, how far the parties can go, because it's unclear how the two parties, the Lega and the Five Star, can even get along. So how long does this government last?
Yeah, that's, I think, probably a lot of people on the market and elsewhere are hoping for an early crash of this very unusual and strained alliance between the two parties. Maybe that would be the safest outcome. However, these parties did get a mandate, and opinion polls suggest that if you were to have another election tomorrow, in fact, support for the Lega would be stronger. And the Lega is the more anti, or at least the more Eurosceptic of the two parties. So I'm not sure that would bring resolution. It would delay things a little bit. Now, having said that, we're not on the verge of the crisis. What was strange, frankly, is the absence of any market reaction in the aftermath of the election. In fact, Italian bond yield fell after the election, even though populist parties had won. So that was the bizarre thing. We're now back to sort of more understandable levels. I think very important will be the choice of the finance minister. Is this of a more orthodox type, or is this an aggressively anti-euro type? That will be a big difference.
One of the biggest buyers of BTPs is the ECB. Is the ECB worried about credit risk in Italy?
Well, I mean, look, the ECB is a rules-based organization as far as that program goes. The question is, what are the ratings agency going to do, right? If Italy passes a budget that with a fiscal deficit of 6-7%, that's going to move the rating agencies, and then the ECB will not have a choice, and probably will not want to have a choice anyway.
So, just to follow, do you think conditionality gets put into it?
Oh, I'm not talking about conditionality. I'm just saying that right now the ECB can only buy, under its QE program, can only buy the bonds that have a sufficiently high rating. You know, if Italy falls below that threshold. Now, again, this is not going to happen tomorrow. But then, you know, the ECB has to stop buying, and then,